just me. There's no in between. So this
is just me.
Is just me.
Why there is no in between.
So
This ain't my scene, I'll beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I'll beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given.
Right. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. It is amazing to be here with you as always. I have my amazing tribe members with me here again today. And what is exceptionally exciting about today's show is that we have a new tribe member. We will be introducing him shortly.
And you are?
I am Nastine.
And that would make me Peter.
And we are the co-founders of the Explore ProTech Entrepreneurial Haven. You are watching the coffee shop conversation show where real answers give real questions.
Makes perfect sense.
Where real entrepreneurs give real answers to real entrepreneurs that have real questions. That is what we're totally doing today. So you're in for a real treat because today's topic is the COVID economy and how to be successful in it. Who doesn't want to know that? And we're going to make sure our tribe members give you answers on how to be successful in a post-COVID economy. Before we do that, you know that the way this show works is we have our tribe members on the screen. If they want to answer a question, they will put their hearts up on the screen and we will cue their answers from there. We'll be dealing with about 3 questions that me and Peter picked from the ones that you sent us.
We actually find that 3 questions is about the limit because the answers are just so comprehensive because they're getting answered from multiple different perspectives, from multiple different industries, from people from across the world. So enjoy the answers.
Yeah, you're going to love it. We're going to get into the question part, the game show part right now. Before we do, Andras, say hi to the people for your first time ever.
Hello. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here and welcome everyone to the show.
It is amazing to have you, Andras. So guys, Andras is joining us live from a beautiful, beautiful Switzerland. Andras, what do you do again?
What I'm doing, that's a great question because I do so many things, but I'm gonna keep it short. So basically what I'm doing, helping entrepreneurs to get the best results in the most efficient way. It's all about the mindset, working on the mindset and eliminating self-limiting beliefs and so on. And the other thing, what I'm doing, providing web services because I'm building websites since I was 14 years old. So I also build beautiful websites, graphics, marketing, material, and so on.
Brilliant, awesome. So marketing and mindset and everything else coach all the way from Switzerland, joining us for the first time today. This is exciting. If you want to be like Andras, what you need to do is click on the link in the description and make yourself a booking with me and Peter. It all starts with a coffee. Hence why we call this the Coffee Shop Conversation Show. And from there, we will help you figure out how to be just like Andras, and you can join us on the screen just like him. Okay, cool. Who's ready for some real answers?
Or some real questions.
Okay, do you want to pose the first question? From Emma.
Ooh, Emma?
From Dubai.
Okay, so the first question is, how is the COVID economy different from the pre-COVID economy? I actually really like that question because a lot of people think that the money has gone.
Disappeared, and I don't think that it has.
But that's not the case. So the question again is, how is the COVID economy different from the pre-COVID economy?
Awesome, and we have some takers. Let's go with Mr. Super Sales. What are you doing this time, Marlon? Marlon likes to run up and down and do bench presses with us while he's on the show. What are you doing this time?
No, I'm doing nothing besides I'm chilling with family. There's not much running around that we can do here in South Africa at the moment. So I'm just trying to catch some sun because where I was is a little bit chilly. So nothing special. Nothing special today. But to answer the question, the question was, what's the difference to the post-COVID environment to what it was before? Is that right? Something like that?
Yeah.
So the biggest difference is that now I would say that there's actually more access to money than ever than like in the last 10, 12 years. So
I know you can.
Pardon?
Prove it. I know you can.
So no, look, banks are giving loans. You can get loans now better than any other time. There's more currency in the market than ever before. The other thing is, this is one of those great opportunities where everybody's open to communication. So everyone wants to talk because the market has changed and we need to just think about it a different way. So everyone is much more open to communicating. I mean, if you ask me to prove it, during the COVID, especially in South Africa, during the COVID, when COVID really hit, all the banks, you could apply for relief. You could start getting some money. And what some people were doing, especially some of my connections overseas, they were actually getting bank loans and taking that money and using it to sustain their businesses, to hold on to so that they could wait, because a lot of people went out of business. So it was a good time to just invest in new businesses and just scale rapidly. If we're not talking about jumping into any sort of debt, again, people are much more open now to communicate, to talk, to leverage, to JV than any other time, I'd say, in the last sort of 5-6 years. So yeah, that's me. I'm Marlon August, marketing consultant at Story Advantage.
Mic drop. That's why we call him Mr. Super Sales. Marlon, I cannot tell you how much I love that answer. It's going into my book. It's just like that. Marlon August said, I freaking love it. Okay, next up, let's hear from is it a cold UK or a sunny UK or a happy UK, Stephen?
It's all of the above. I'm very warm. I don't like being warm, hence why I look so flushed. I look like I've been for a run, I wish. But yeah, so I 100% agree with what Marlon was saying. Now, I'm going to throw a few stats at you. So during 2020, the global economy shrunk by 4.4%. What this means is companies and banks did at one point stop spending money. Here in the UK, it was the government that was helping people pay their bills. Now, because a lot of people were let go from their jobs and because a lot of people were afraid, just like in the 2008 recession, it meant that a lot of people started looking for other opportunities. Obviously, we live in a online world. We live in a world that connects me to South Africa, and it's absolutely phenomenal. But what has happened is there's a trend now in work behavior. People are looking to basically start their own companies. They're looking to make money for themselves. Now, something that Marlon did say, or Peter said, is that the money hasn't gone anywhere. The money is still available. And people want more of that money because of whatever need or whatever wants they have. So, excuse me. So what I found over the last year or so is more and more people have resorted to starting an online business, whether that be web design, copywriting, whether it be, I don't know, graphic design or something online that is tangible that they can use across multiple platforms. On top of that, especially like here in the UK, the country is reopening. And when I say the country's reopening, I mean that they're removing all restrictions as of the 19th of this month. So that has left opportunity for employers to add on to their benefits remote working, because we've all been doing it for a year. The technology is there. People are ready for that. People want that. It cuts down on their commute time. It frees up more time. So in terms of the economy, there's also more of a emphasis on work-life balance. There's more of an emphasis on you're working to live, not living to work. So there's a hybrid kind of environment going on with workplace and workplace cultures and businesses and business owners. And Marlon's right, communication is key. Communication has increased exponentially, especially over the last 12 months, to the point where I have clients in multiple countries, not just around by where I live. It's made my business more accessible. It's made my business practice even more efficient, therefore making me more effective. So that's how I've seen the global economy changing over the last year because of COVID. So thank you very much. I'm Stephen Westwood from SPW Copywriting.
Boom! Thank you, Stephen. I am loving today. This is so freaking interesting. I love this, and it's such a relevant topic. Martin August saying online shopping has exploded.
Oh yes.
And
we know that.
yeah, we know that because Marlon shared that with us. Awesome. Let's hear next up from Megan Deers. Megan, how is the post-COVID economy different from the pre-COVID economy?
Thanks, Nestine. From my perspective, I think the three words that come to mind are versatile, adjustable or flexible, and dynamic. I think those are the key changes I see in the economy now. And whereas Marlon and Stephen were commenting on and Peter as well, commented on the fact that there is money available and more so at this point, I think the spenders become a lot more focused in certain ways, and people are a lot more thoughtful about how they're spending, where they're spending, and absolutely about where they're investing as well. The second point there, just touching on what Stephen said, definitely it's jump-started the drive to entrepreneurship. And I think that's, for me, the most exciting part of it, where so many more people are seeing the benefits in going digital or just going out on their own. And it's probably one of the best times to do that, because from here on, we can only go up. Thank you very much. Megan from Megan Creative, Content and Copywriting. Thank you.
Love that, Megan. Thank you so much. Also, Stephen saying cryptocurrency has exploded. Andra saying definitely an interesting aspect of it, crypto and blockchain tech rising. That's obviously as the global movement, everything is going more global right now.
Sorry.
I'm interested. Yeah.
Sorry, Justine, I just want to add that the cryptocurrency industry is worth $2.48 trillion at this moment in time.
Wow, that is super interesting. Thank you, Stephen. I'm also interested to know, guys, if you want to think about this, maybe the people that haven't answered yet, How has the post-COVID economy changed consumer behavior? That's something that I think we haven't addressed yet. Maybe that's something that Chris is going to speak about. Chris?
Hello. So, you know what? Life and everything has cycles to it. And the general macroeconomic global economy has been pretty much the same since the end of World War II, which was a long time ago. And we've had one or two dips and market crashes, but the general principles have been the same. And innovation is born out of necessity. And this whole period has definitely changed the entire landscape. And I actually see it as an opportunity for leveling the playing field. So the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And we can see that big corporations, not only here in South Africa, but around the world, have had a huge knock. They've had to look at where they're overspending and tightening up and running a smarter, better, slimmer business, and also being able to learn how to adapt and grow a lot faster to keep up with the changing world around us at the same time. And, you know, I think we're in an exciting period of, in 5 or 10 years' time, some poor economic students in their third year are going to sit down and learn about the new global economic principles that have come out of this. We're in this period of change. So to clearly define how it's changed the economy is difficult to say. But I would say it's leveled the playing field. It's created opportunities for your smaller companies to rise up, the guys who work smarter, work harder, and change with the whole general environment. I mean, even with or without COVID, life is moving at one heck of a pace, and with your technology, everything's moving so quickly. So this is a wake-up call to make your business slim, quick, fast, and efficient. And, you know, there's a lot of articles at the moment that are also showing that your developing economies are recovering faster than your developed world economies. So there is generally a wide spectrum of leveling the playing field and almost a whole new world for us to learn about and grow. And the ones who are really going to be successful are going to be the ones who figure that out. I haven't got there yet. I'm trying really hard. I know the theory, but I'll tell you what, in 2 years' time, I'll tell you the key for that one. And on consumer behavior, people don't have as much disposable cash, and cash flow is a big one at the moment. So they're holding on to it. You've got to give people a really, really, really good reason to part with their money and that trust and credibility before they do.
Yes.
I'm Chris Colby from Live to Dream, your marketing coach.
I'm so happy you remembered, Chris. So you're saying, guys, there it is. Chris Colby is saying it's a whole new world. Let's sing together. I'm totally joking. But this is freaking epic. It's so interesting. So there's actually more cash available, but you have to do more in order to get people to part ways with that cash. Really catering towards what they want right now, really upping your credibility and your visibility, I guess, in the online space.
That is a good question. What do people want right now?
What do people want right now? Do you guys know? That's actually one of our third questions. Let's think about it. Janine, you're looking so lovely today, showing off your new webcam. Guys, she's wearing a new webcam and a new hairstyle. Isn't she lovely? Janine, how is the post-COVID and pre-COVID economy different?
It's quite big if you really think about it. And if you sit down and think about it, you can actually write a book. And what I've been thinking about was, you know, if we weren't able to connect with people like physically, handshake, thanks for the deal kind of thing, what's the next step? And the one thing I realized is building relationship is the best thing for you to continue in any entrepreneurial thing that you are taking on. So that's the one tip I can definitely give, Emma, is to never, ever burn bridges and continue connecting with people, because the people will change your path in a very good way. And just one thing as well, did you guys know that the entertainment world sales went up by almost 62% in the last 12 months? Just a thought. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Brilliant. Thank you, Janine. That was epic. So guys, if we can make this show like really, really entertaining, like I'm thinking like you guys put on animal outfits and act like cute puppies, and we'll brainstorm some things. We can get a cut of that 62% entertainment budget, right? What do you think? Steve was just like, no, sticking with I want a holiday and a haircut. Amazing. Oh, and Janine, thank you so much. You can actually write a book about it. That is so subtle. I am writing one. I will put the link in the description for you guys. It's called Small Business, Big Dreams, How We Survived COVID-19. Guys, just to touch quickly on before we move to the next question, I think we got so many relevant discussions, but the credibility and the online visibility, how important that is right now in order to get people to actually part with their money. We've seen for sure, for all the entrepreneurs that have come into this haven, that is part of the key process of making them successful in a new COVID economy. That's actually why it's part of our success recipe, our equation. So our success equation literally is
Visibility.
Visibility plus credibility plus invincibility equals profitability. So think about that. If you can focus on and really come up with ways of how are you going to make your business more visible? How are you going to make your business more credible? How are you going to make yourself invincible? Through having a proper network and through having a proper business model. I think that is what we need to be thinking of right now. But yeah, that was so interesting to hear your thoughts on this. Emma, I'm pretty sure you're blown away, just like I was. Peter, do we want to ask them the next question?
Okay, here's the next question, and this is from Cheryl. So Cheryl, here goes. What do I have to do as an entrepreneur to be successful in a post-COVID economy? I like the way that actually links to the first question.
Yeah, so the first question is, what's the difference? Second question, okay, now what do I have to do to be successful? And I see our newest member actually has his WhatsApp. Let's hear from Switzerland.
Yes, so that's a great question, but I would separate it a little bit. Do we need to take care of pre-COVID or post-COVID? I don't think that matters much, because what really matters, okay, how can you be successful in your business? You give value to your customers. So that's the most important thing. Figure out, okay, this is my product, this is my service. That's the first thing. And these are my customers. This is my target group. So I'm just giving value, building that up. And as Johnny mentioned, building relationship, that's the most important thing, to understand what these people need in your target audience. Otherwise, you just have maybe an idea and maybe some idea of your target audience, but you need to reach out, get feedback, and have these discussions that, is it really what I think? Is that what they really need, or maybe it's something else? So that's the most important thing, to give value, figure out, talk with the people, build the relationships, communicate in a good way, understand them. And the more you do it, the more you show up, the more you talk, the more you know. So it's kind of, I made this big mistake in the past, that I was trying to, I used social media in a non-social way. I was just pushing out content without thinking if that's valuable or not. And I figured out the hard way that I needed to take a step back and make content that's really valuable, and have more and more and more of this conversation, and ask my clients, ask my people who are following me, okay, what do they really want? What do they really need? So build upon that, build upon having this discussion, creating the trust, and get the real feedback. And maybe one more point I would like to mention here, which I also mentioned in my last podcast episode. How can you be really successful once you have a product, once you have a target audience? The third most important thing is to be different. Be different, I mean, on the market. Provide something extra. Maybe under-promise, over-deliver. Maybe just have your personality, talk, and have these connections. Or maybe there's something existing already on the market, and you just provide something completely higher quality than everything else that exists. Or maybe it's just 100 times easier to use. So whatever the difference is, figure out the difference. And that's why I'm saying, if you give value, if you have the difference, it doesn't matter if it's pre-COVID or pro-COVID. Of course, industries change, focus change. Yes, now it's more entertainment and less, less physical contact, less going to parties. So maybe you need to shift your focus sometimes and rebuild or rethink your business. And I think that's always a good idea, to innovate in your business, innovate and learn about yourself, and to create better products that fit the market need, fit your target audience, what they really, really need and want. So that's a short summary. I'm Andras Kapros, your business coach.
Andres, you're getting like a standing ovation from me. Like, I think that was freaking epic. And the beauty is, you know what, if you start with asking real people the real questions, getting real answers, what do you need? What can I help you with?
Yes.
And develop the product around that, the chances of you being different or being better than the competition in meeting those needs.
Yeah, it's highly likely.
Highly likely, and that sets you up for success. I mean, that's how we founded this entrepreneurial haven. We didn't just go and decide, you know what, we want to be in business in an entrepreneurial haven. Actually, the last thing we did.
No.
We kind of just got together and we were like, entrepreneurs need to be successful. What do we give them to help them be successful? What do we do?
And who better to ask than entrepreneurs?
So we found them and we asked them, and then 8 months down the line, we were, we accidentally created an entrepreneurial haven. Let's do that now. But yeah, fantastic, Andres. And it's a, you know what, it's such an obvious answer, but it's something that people so often miss. You know, so a lot of the times I see, like, even experienced entrepreneurs will get an idea, basically close off their world, just sit there making the product, not talk to anyone about it. And then 8 months later, they're like, here's the product, I want to sell it. How do I sell it? At that point in time, like, no one has been involved in the journey of creating it. No one knows what on earth you're doing. Why should they be interested in what you're doing?
There's no build-up.
You don't even know if that is really what the people want. So no, that was a stunning answer. Thank you so much. Okay, but before I get to, like, I will speak forever. Let's just carry on. Rita, you had your heart up.
Hi, Nistine. Yeah, I think the two questions are very much the same, in a sense, from my framework that we are work. Pre-COVID, post-COVID. Post-COVID for sure pulled us all out of our comfort zones. And mentally, that took a knock, gave us all a knock. We mentally, we all battle with that comfort zone that is not there at the moment. And the question is, how do we mentally help ourselves to not get back into the comfort zone, but become clear in our mental way of thinking about COVID? So what do I see? Do I see COVID as a challenge and I've got answers to it? Or do I see COVID as a death threat to me? And it's going to depend on that. So if you see COVID as a challenge and you can readjust just your comfort zone from there, you will get to where you want to go in the post-COVID situation. Rita Skuman, Coaching with Heart.
Thank you, Rita. That's such a relevant answer. And I think it's also actually illustrated live online right now.
Yeah.
With the types of answers we're getting from these entrepreneurs that are all successful in a COVID economy.
I think if we look at some of the members of our platform, that when we first started, they were in that comfortable space where things worked a particular way. With COVID, that space has changed. And changing, being able to pivot and change with it is actually it's quite a drastic move. As entrepreneurs, we have the ability to pivot and change and go in different directions because we have that flexibility. And a lot of people actually battled with that. Some companies closed down, businesses came to an end. A lot of people didn't understand how to move into an online space. That maybe they didn't have the tools to do it, or the understanding of how to do it. And we've met people like that. And we've also watched people and their journey of moving from a physical space into an online space successfully. So yes, Rita, you're actually 100% right. Mentally, it was quite a big knock for a lot of people. But if you take a look at all of us on the screen now, there is a way, and it can be done.
The trick is to get excited about it. Like Rita said, don't be fearful and sit in the corner and wish it will go away, because it's not going away. It's not. But if you can join up with people that are going to help you figure out how to, be super successful in this new environment, then it's actually something to be super excited about. I mean, I'm currently talking to people from freaking the UK, Switzerland, South Africa, like everywhere in the world.
Slovenia.
And that is because, and they like my best friends, and they have helped me so much in business. My business has done things that it never would have been able to do before. And it's because, sadly, it's because of COVID and the opportunities that we saw in it, because we were in that mindset of, this is exciting, let's do this.
Well, it's not so much a question of it being sadly, it's a question of we've been forced to pivot, and we have managed to do that successfully, and other people can do it too. That's the point. The point is that there is a way, and it can be done.
And I love Marlon's comment. You're a poet and you don't know it because you say pivot and go with it.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, awesome. Marlon, I know that someone that really believes in what Andras has said and what Rita has said is you. Do you want to also talk to us a little bit about what it takes to be successful in a COVID economy?
Thanks for the question. And so I think there's a crucial element we're kind of missing, because we're pointing at COVID and we're blaming COVID. But when the pandemic hit, I picked up an awesome audio from Simon Sinek that I'll drop in our group, and he literally said that people are saying it's unprecedented, but it's really not. We've always had some form of disaster, some sort of meltdown, some sort of change, because for business, there's always the necessity for change. The market constantly changes. And with the advent of social media and that explosion, things are changing. From the economic side, we spoke about cryptocurrency. There's a lot of change going on that side. The business principles always stay the same. And it comes back for me to some of the things that you already mentioned, right? If you have a relationship like Janine was talking about, if you have business relationships, if you're in front of people, the right people, you're communicating with them, what's really different? How's your business going to change? Because you're going to actually be right there with the people that buy your product, that could be buying your product, like Andres was talking about. So you can just say to them, hey, what's important to you now? How's things for you? I think businesses, it's just take it back a step and just care. If you care a little bit more about who your customer is, about where they're at, and about really how you can be there to support them, your business is going to thrive. You're going to always survive. You're always going to be able to add the right components that'll help you. So for me, it's just care, talk to people, communicate, and just focus on trying to help people where they need the help. It's not about you and your business. It's about how can you support others get what they want. I think that's like the purest form of how you make some money. Give people what they want. My name is Marlon August, and I'm from Story Advantage.
Marlon, I have goosebumps.
Chris is jumping up and down.
I love it. Goosebumps. Just give the people what they want. Try to care for your customer for a change. See what happens. Love it. Chris, you're literally going to jump through the screen if I don't let you speak right now. So just go for it.
It's just everybody's touching on the same thing. It's about finding the need. And whenever something doesn't make sense, you don't know where you're going, and things look a bit confusing. This is something I'm very passionate about, hence the jumping up and down. But you always go back to the basics that Marlon just mentioned. Go back to basics. The basics of marketing is find a need and provide a solution for that need. Marketing is actually not that complicated. Find the need, provide solution for need. That's it. It's really that simple. And it's exactly what Marlon and Andreas have also said is just as long as you're providing what is needed. So find out what that need is. And if part of that is a genuine communication style with people where you're real and you're being open and honest with them, then that's what they need. Provide the solution. Go back to the basics. And you know what? We'll have this conversation now, and next week something could happen and the whole world changes again. And we got to work it out. Get those basic fundamentals in place. Get those basics right and build from there. It's Chris Colby from Live to Dream.
Love it. I love the energy in the tribe today. Thank you, Chris. I'm going to start calling you Christmas. I don't care if that's okay with you. I just love it. You're like, we have Mr. Super Sales, Mr. Match Marketing, and Christmas. I'll think of a better name, but when you speak, it's like Christmas for me, okay? Okay, Stephen. You want to add something on, or do you have a better nickname for Chris?
I'll think of the nickname for Chris. But while I'm thinking of that, everything has been covered. It doesn't matter whether you're a B2B, B2C. It doesn't matter whether you've got a product or a service. It is all down to how you communicate and listen to your targeted customer base. Now, chances are, if you understand that one person will find that their problems are solved with your product or service, there are going to be others out there. So if you're not making any sales on your product or service at this moment, you probably don't have a targeted audience, you probably don't have a clear communication message, and you're probably looking in the wrong channels. And I say that because a lot of people are like, oh, you need to have social media. Yeah, social media can help, but you've still got to use it strategically. Like what Andreas said, he was just churning out post after post after post, not really getting anything. It wasn't until he started targeting his market, and it wasn't until he started targeting his copy or his content that he started to see an improvement, that he started to actually get people reading and responding to his posts. And that's what it's all about. And again, it doesn't matter what type of business you've got, you need to have clear communication, and you need to be able to listen and respond to feedback. Stephen Westwood, SPW Copywriting.
Thank you, Stephen.
I think that actually brings me back to the original thought that I had, was what do people actually want? And the general theme of what we've been talking about is, and Stephen, you nailed it, was communication. People want to connect. People want to connect. We're stuck in this space where we've gone from a physical space where we can go and meet clients to all of a sudden where we put in this predicament where we actually now cannot go and meet clients. And that's the pivot, where people have pivoted into an online space. People are desperate to connect. They're desperate to communicate. And if people are desperate to communicate, why not be the one that they're communicating with? I think that's the point. Be available. Keep communication open. This is where there's strength. I don't know if anybody's played that game, Broken Telephone, where at a party, one person has the conversation, and then the conversation gets repeated until it gets to the end, and then the message is just not what it should be. It's something completely different. That's what happens when there is no communication. When communication is not done correctly. The power of communication and forming relationships with people that you are communicating with is endless. The amount of things that you can achieve, the goals that you can set, the support that you can have, the open communication is 100% the key.
For sure. And I just want to say, if you are finding right now that people aren't really willing to communicate with you, because I've been in that situation, you have to join a tribe like this one, because it is so easy in this group just to go on any of the WhatsApp groups, on any of the Facebook groups, one-on-one with anyone, and just say like, hey, what do you need? Can I provide that for you? And people have come into this tribe with like a completely different service offering. They've come into the tribe, they figured out, spoken to people, and like a week later, they have a completely different business model. And it works, they're making money, it's taking off. So there's really no excuse right now. And Janine, you have something to add on for Cheryl. Please, can you share with her, what does it take to be successful in a post-corona economy?
COVID.
So for me personally, I think a lot of people are giving this COVID thing way too much respect or attention. It doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that what it's doing is not bad and sad. We all know that. But if you're saying my business and COVID, for me, you're putting a positive with a negative. What are you going to get? So remember, you've got the sky above you, you've got the earth below you, and you've got a fire within you. Keep focusing on that. I'm Janine from Jelani Sales, your virtual sales office.
Love it! You got a sky above you, you got the earth below you, and you got a fire within you. It's my new favorite thing. I'm going to write it on the wall. Thank you, Janine. That's so stunning. You always have the most stunning affirmations and quotes. I love it. Okay, guys, quickly before we go, let's drop some quick value for Geraldine. Geraldine wants to know, are there any industries that are looking more promising for entrepreneurs right now than others?
Ooh.
Any industries more promising for entrepreneurs right now? Chris, Miss.
Really, it sounds like compost of some sort. We'll figure that one out. How about you go with Colby One Kenobi for now? A little bit of a Star Wars play on. Okay, so you now throwing me completely industries, right? Okay, so it depends obviously in your specific region and your location and things like that. Here in South Africa, the property market, specifically on the residential side, is growing. There's other specific ones, but one of the main industries, two industries that are making big waves, and I think it's time, whether you like it or not, that you got to get on board with it. The one being is your coaching and development and your networking, because people are desperately looking and needing answers. They need that guidance. They need that help. There's a reason why the top athletes, and Marlon being a top athlete will agree with this, they all have coaches, and for various different aspects of their careers and their lives. And people are starting to see the value in that. So they are looking for it, and those industries are growing. The other one is digital. Back in the day, your more richer, wealthier people, they owned factories, they owned railways, they owned steelworks. It was all labor force driven. Now we're moving far more ever before with this. I'd say it's like the third or fourth information revolution, where knowledge is power. That's your, I'm padding here because I'm trying to find the right word that's leaving me right now, but that intellectual property, your IPs, creating those platforms and that IP and using that as an asset is a whole new change for that. So I'd say those are the big industries. It's your coaching and your development and networking side, as well as moving onto a digital space and monetizing your business in a digital format. That's Chris Colby from Live to Dream, marketing coach.
Thank you, Chris. I love it. Okay, Stephen, quickly, your take on the industries for entrepreneurs right now.
Yeah, so I agree with Chris. I do think that there's been a huge shift towards digital, purely because then people have got location freedom, time freedom in order to run their business. The other industries to look out for include, as I've already mentioned today, cryptocurrency. There is also technology, AI, virtual reality, certain elements of design as well are really rapidly growing. So there is the shift towards a more nomadic lifestyle as well. But ultimately, I think that Oh, and financial. That's another one that I've witnessed a huge boost in. Are you okay?
Yes, we're good.
Okay. I was like,
Keep talking, we are listening.
yeah, so in terms of industries, like I said, it can vary greatly. There's also a huge booming more natural industries, and there's more people working in what's the word? App development as well. So in terms of opportunities, there are plenty in terms of the digital space, and you've also got other opportunities as well, as long as it solves people's problems. Stephen Westwood, SPW Copywriting.
Thank you so much, Stephen. That was brilliant. I think that's like the most comprehensive rundown of the industries to look out for right now that we've had so far. Marlon, do you quickly want to add something before we jump off and say goodbye?
Sure, thank you. Hope there's not too much background noise, but I think there's a massive opportunity for people you don't need, you know? You don't need, like, the people have accumulated so much stuff, and there's other people that want that stuff. So really just sell whatever nonsense you don't need, and that e-commerce itself is blowing up. So I mean, I know a whole group with it that they're just selling a whole bunch of their old stuff. So you can just go ahead, look into your house, look at the things you don't need anymore, put that stuff up for sale. You make some money. No, really, it's crazy. And so e-commerce is big, and really you can sell anything now. We're in a global village, so people want to buy it. So I would really jump into the e-commerce scene quite a bit. Like herbal teas, herbal health stuff, that's really also big at the moment. Anything to help people, especially during this time, focus more on their health. That's another avenue that people can go into.
And
I'm done.
brilliant. Thank you, Marlon. Thank you so much.
You know, something I was thinking about, you know, we've moved into this new space, and we have access to some of the best people in the world in regards to services and coaches and products, and you name it, we've got access to some of the best in the world at the moment. And that's based on the fact that we've been building relationship with people that we can now actually, at the drop of a hat, just pick up the phone and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, what do you think? You know, there's this movement of, we are starting to base everything we do based off of relationships and communication. However, there needs to be access to lifestyle. There needs to be that balance. If we don't have that balance, we will wear ourselves out. And I don't think anybody knows that better than Leonie Dorflin. Hence the fact that there is Entrepreneur's Lifestyle magazine. So Leonie, before we end, maybe you can just tell us a little something about how you balance your lifestyle.
Cool. Hello. Yeah, it was all about work, and then I decided now, well, I need to take at least one day a week to just go out and have fun and not get stuck behind the laptop, and just like recharge, and that really helps. But now I'm in a position where I need to get my balance back to work. I'm having too much fun.
Love it. Thank you so much, Leonie, and thank you for the good work that you do with lifestyle. So, guys, that is your everything from what changed in a post-COVID economy to what you should be doing in being successful in it, to the industries you should be looking out for, including lifestyle, e-commerce, and all the other beautiful industries that our members mentioned. This has been the Coffee Shop Conversation show that you've been watching. I hope we gave you real answers to your real valuable questions. Keep sending those questions to us, guys, and we will keep answering them for you every single week. Also, if you liked the answer of any one of these beautiful experts on the screen, all of their links will be in the description below. Click on it, get in touch.
Communicate.
Connect with them. You need them in your life. I can promise you. They are some of the best people from around the globe, and you need them. So their links will be there. Click on it, get in touch, connect, and then take it from there. We will be here again, same time, same place next week with more amazing stuff for all of you. And just a quick hot one. Tribe News, 21st July 2021. Yeah, the person that's sneezing right now, he's the host. You will be having a celebrity on there. It's going to be absolutely epic, but you need to watch in order to see who it is. But it's a very, very big person in the sports world, so you're going to love it. YouTube, Facebook, that is it from us. If you want to be more visible, credible, profitable, invincible, you need to join Explore ProTech. It all starts with a coffee with me and Peter. The link is in the description below. Contact us. We will see you again, same time, same place.